Okay, so today I had a kind of cool idea to just go over a few levels that I kind of liked in GD and just talk about them and why I like them and why I think they're like really big brain cool. So, the first level is Retro Blitz. Honestly, there's not a lot to say about this one. It's just a pretty darn well designed level. The part at the end where you're kind of floating around is really cool and kind of unique. I've never really seen it done that way before. And if you take a look at the level, you can see so many references hidden everywhere. References to games like Celeste, or to really anything, even to Omori, or just random stuff like that. It's kind of just cool how much just stuff there is in this level. The block designs are also pretty colorful in most of the parts, and the gameplay isn't good, but it isn't bad. It's a relatively well-rounded level, really fun to play, really fun to watch, since it has so many amazing references that are just hidden in every corner. It's really cool, honestly. The second level doesn't really need that much of an introduction. It's Behold, obviously. This level is just a work of art. The effects, most of them I don't even understand how they work. They're just really well made. The planet art is beautiful, and the block designs are pretty good for most parts. The first part is a little weird with the block design, but once you get into the second, it looks like really good. It almost has like a kind of like Bly vibe, like it's one of his levels, but it isn't. It's different. The backgrounds are really cool. I would almost call this like a mechanical-esque style. The style in this level is reminiscent of White Space and maybe one or two Knots levels in some parts, but for the most part, it just looks really good. The city backgrounds are pretty epic, and they're really detailed. It's just a really good level. Honestly, there's not a lot I can say about this level. It's just really well made. To be honest, the first little bit of the level is honestly kind of boring. I feel like this level definitely would have been one of my favorite levels ever if it had a more interesting beginning. But the only reason I'm putting it on this list is because the drop makes up for it. Like, the colors and the shifts and all of the effects in the beginning and the wave at the drop are amazing. The UFO just feels so good to play, the gameplay is amazing, and the colors match the song perfectly. The ending is a little bit difficult, but I don't think that distracts from just how well made it is. Honestly, this level is just really good in general. It's probably one of my favorite levels right now. It was really fun to beat, and I definitely would beat it again. The things this level does best are atmosphere and just general, like, sync. Like, it fits the song ridiculously well. In my opinion, Found is one of the best levels in Geometry Dash as of right now. The detail and the effects in this thing, and just the way it works with the amazing song choice that just is very unusual, just fits so well. The way the colors shift throughout the level and all of the transitions might be the best I've seen in the entire game. The way the eyes and the hands move on and off screen is amazing, and in the first part, the semi-spherical, like, weird frickin' city thing is really cool and really weird. The transition with the door into the really cool part with hands, like, I guess that just sums up all the parts in this level. All the parts in this level can be summed up just by cool transition with hands. Honestly, this level is probably one of my favorite levels out there right now. Just the designs and the way that everything moves and the way that just their colors work is really well made. The effects are also really cool, and there's this one part with like a weird bug thing that looks like something straight out of Rain World. It's just really detailed and has an atmosphere that is just good. I mean, there's not a lot of other levels with an atmosphere better than this. There might be a few I can think of, but it's just really well made. I always like these kind of style of like black and gray levels. They just look really cool, and the boss fight is really creative and not just your typical like boss fight on the right, random weird fight thing. Oh yeah, this level is kind of amazing. It's probably one of my favorites right now. I just recently beat it, and it's really fun to play, and the difficulty spike at the end is, like, difficult, but not frustrating. It just makes the end have so much more energy to it, and makes the level just flow better. It has its own difficulty curve, sort of. The level's just quick gameplay switches near the end is really, really good. It's very climatic, and the song works really, really well with this style. It's just a really, really, really good, well-made level. A lot of very, very cool effects. Apparently, it's also somehow related to the Just Shapes and Beats song, the level, in Just Shapes and Beats. And I've also played that, and I can see some of the similarities, especially in the colors in the background in the first part. They match, and I think it does a really good job of kind of mixing GD with a little bit of hints from that Just Shapes and Beats level, and it just really mixes together pretty well.